Mortal Kombat 2, released May 8th, 2026, is the second installment of New Line's ongoing trilogy of the Mortal Kombat series. Following the 2021 film, Mortal Kombat 2 aimed to be a more faithful adaptation of the source material, but unfortunately, made me feel nothing. I'm Tom the Wizard Man, and this is the Fake Wizards review of Mortal Kombat 2. If this video brings you any value at all, please like and subscribe, as we're posting many reviews every single week. The movie starts with Shao Kahn's conquest of Edenia. We watch the hammer-wielding despot take on King Jarad, the final combatant of the tournament and the father of the young Kitana. Shao Kahn viciously dispatches the king, claims the realm for himself, and takes Jarad's wife and daughter as his own. We jump forward to a now-adult Kitana preparing to be a competitor in the tournament between Outworld and Earthrealm, a tournament that shall decide the fate of the Earth and its people, as Shao Kahn only needs one more victory to conquer it. We're then introduced to Johnny Cage, a washed-up 90s action star and martial artist, at a convention who's unexpectedly chosen to be the final fighter in the Earthrealm roster. From there, we follow the warriors of Earthrealm, Liu Kang, Jack, Sonya, Cole, and now Johnny Cage, trying to stop Shao Kahn as they fight against the underhanded tactics of Shang Tsung, Quan Chi, and Shao Kahn himself in and out of Mortal Kombat. Commendable things. The costume and set design for this movie is actually pretty good. I thought Shao Kahn looked really cool and most of the outfits were a good fit. Out of the cast, Liu Kang gives the best performance in this movie. He's the only character I believed was an actual character. Plus, he has the most interesting fights on a story level and on a visual level. There is also a good variety of action scenes, but the variety of them doesn't necessarily mean they're that good. Issue number 1. I would say there is a 30 to 70% split between good fight scenes and, yeah, they're fighting. Practically every single fight in this movie, you can suss out who's going to win before they even start trading blows. Kitana and Shao Kahn's fight is set up in the first scene of the movie, so you immediately know that neither of these characters are in any inherent danger until they finally clash, rendering the majority of their fights before as a bit lackluster. Part of what makes a fight interesting is the suspense of who the winner's going to be. Are the characters evenly matched? Will it be a fair fight? Who's gonna be victorious? Questions like that are what keeps you on the edge of your seat, and this movie didn't elicit any of that. And where the choreography and fights would excuse these issues in other films, I feel like it didn't have that oomph to carry interest. It'd be one thing if it was contained to just the fights, but every aspect of this movie is predictable. It is paint by numbers, the action movie. This is the setup, this is the payoff. Shao Kahn kills Kitana's father. Kitana will kill Shao Kahn. Johnny Cage becomes a man who lost his mojo. In the second act, his mojo will return. Bi-Han is resurrected. Scorpion will fight Bi-Han. The predictability of this movie kinda makes it boring. Issue number 2. The characterization of the characters. Almost every single character in this movie is hollow. They're a cardboard cutout of a character. Now, I understand that this is a Mortal Kombat movie, and so there will probably be people who dismiss this argument under the pretense that character development is secondary to action in a movie like this. I challenge that because writing characters to be interesting, likable, or just anything more than the bare minimum can go a long way. It wouldn't detract from a movie like this to have better writing. In fact, it would improve it. It would give you more of a reason to care more than, I like the character in the video game, so I like seeing them on screen. Issue number 3. The performances in this movie are bland. Most of the dialogue and deliveries come off as, this is the line that was written in the script, and I'm saying it. I have a sneaking suspicion that it may be a result of poor direction, as I know actors like Karl Urban are capable of much better. And I'm not saying he's bad in this, I just think that practically all of the dialogue is hollow. They bring Kano back in this movie, and I sincerely believe that it wasn't just because the fans liked him in the first movie. They needed to bring him back because he was practically one of the only characters with any shred of charisma attached to him. And finally, and overall, this story has a lot of weird inclusions and redundancies. There's several inclusions into this film that are there strictly because it's supposed to be that way. The story relies on you not asking questions and just going along with it. In the story, Kano is resurrected because he was the last one with the Amulet of Shinnok, a MacGuffin that when powered grants immortality to whoever's soul it binds with. Kano literally had it in his pockets. They didn't need to resurrect him at all, they could have just looted his body. Scorpion doesn't have a place in the story, like at all. He's shoehorned in at the third act to be a guide in the Netherrealm, but he's really just there to fight a resurrected Bi-Han. Both characters' inclusions are there merely to just satisfy fans, but nothing about them is really satisfying. They're so loosely tied to the plot that you very easily could have had other characters serve their purpose. Like, the fight has some cool sequences, I guess, but it's really just not that great. Its inclusion feels like an afterthought. The same can be said for Jade's turn on Shao Kahn. It feels as though she just turns on Shao Kahn for the sake of the script. It just happens. It feels like the writers didn't want to kill off too many people because we need characters to return in the sequel, but it feels off because it's Mortal Kombat. It's notorious for brutally killing off most of its cast. And that ties to the biggest issue, which is how it ends. Kano and Johnny Cage capture Quan Chi, and Raiden brings up how they've lost too many fighters, so they're going to resurrect them. I know resurrection is part of the game's lore, but in terms of storytelling, would it have not just been wiser to leave that plot thread to be revealed in the next movie? The framing of, oh, we gotta get our friends back from the dead, as this cheery high-note conclusion takes away from the sacrifice of those who died in this movie. It further removed the stakes from this movie that they just magically come back in the sequel. And I'm fully aware there's going to be some monkey paw-esque twist with Quan Chi reviving them where they come back evil or something. But that is something that should have just been reserved for the next movie. You didn't need to create that plot thread in this one. This movie wants to be that over-the-top, action-packed movie, but its stiff acting, predictable plots, and generalized mediocrity hold it back from being something really special. I give it a 6 out of 10. If this video gave you any value, please hit the subscribe button and like the video. Thank you. Bye-bye.